Okay, so let's get right into it. Picture this. An estate, a family's legacy, has been cheated. Its value is being drained by bad actors. So how do you fight back? Well, not with the old methods. Lawyers, courtrooms, stuff that takes forever. You need a new kind of defense, a sovereign defense. And this is the story of how you restore a cheated estate in the modern age.
You know, in this high-stakes theater of finance and law, every single move is under a microscope, and every asset is a potential target. The legacy systems we've all relied on for centuries, they're really starting to show their cracks. They've become stages for incredibly sophisticated attacks instead of platforms for protection. And that's the real problem, isn't it? The old weapons are just failing us. Paper contracts, these long, drawn-out legal fights, and just relying on good old-fashioned trust, it's just not enough anymore. It's not going to cut it when you're up against modern financial warfare. They're way too slow, too ambiguous, and frankly, just too easy for people to exploit. So this brings us to the big question we're tackling here. If the old playbook is basically obsolete, how in the world do you fight back? How do you get back what's been taken and protect what you have left? Especially when the very rules of the game seem to be rigged against you. The answer is you fight back with a brand new playbook, one that's built not on hope, but on code, not on trust, but on cryptographic truth. And this playbook is run by two master architects, a guy named Zahav, the builder of proof, and another named Big Folk, the guardian of the treasury. So let's talk about the new battlefield where this all goes down. It's called the Private Sovereign Treasury Operating System, or let's just call it PSTOS for short. Now, this isn't just some new app or tool. It's an entirely new environment. It's built on the disciplined use of private finance and something called preventive legal engineering. So what exactly is the PS2s? Well, at its core, it's a system designed to take legal promises and obligations and turn them into digital assets. It's built on this incredible idea of preventive legal engineering. Think about it. Instead of waiting for a contract to get broken and then running to court, you build a system where the rules are baked right into the code from the very beginning. You make it basically impossible to cheat in the first place. First up, let's meet Zahav. He's what's known as the Certified Sovereign Underwriter. His entire job is to take the messy, complicated story of a financial loss and transform it into a concrete, undeniable, and, well, golden asset. He is, quite literally, the architect of proof. Zahav's process is just beautifully methodical. It's a three-step dance. First, he uses something called an economic value record, or EVR, to capture the entire story of the loss in a standardized way. Second, he notarizes that proof in a very special jurat ceremony. And finally, he wraps the resulting asset in a digital shield using a token standard called ERC 3643. This shield enforces who can and can't hold the asset, making sure it never falls into the wrong hands. And this right here, this is the heart of Zahav's power, the jurat ceremony. Now, this is not your typical rubber stamp from a notary down the street. Oh no, this is a formal legal act. An oath is given, and the evidence is cryptographically hashed. Think of it as a unique digital fingerprint, and then sealed onto a blockchain called the notary chain. And the result? You get immutable, legally recognized proof that can stand on its own in any fight. It's powerful stuff. Okay, so now let's meet our second architect, Big Folk. If Zahav is on offense, creating these new, rock-solid assets, Big Folk is on defense. He's the trustee, the family protector. He operates the heavy machinery of the trust's internal treasury to make sure that the core assets, what's called the trust res, are preserved no matter what. And this just shows you the night and day difference Big Folk makes. The legacy system? It's chaos. Commingled funds, messy ownership, a total mess. Big Folk replaces all that chaos with a fortress of discipline. He enforces a super strict four-account system: personal, business, trust, and other. This separation is specifically designed to protect the estate from what he calls the sheriffs of fiat friction, those outside actors just looking for an excuse to seize assets by pointing to commingled funds. Now, this is absolutely crucial. Big Folk's most important role is as the gatekeeper. Every single claim that Zahav creates has to pass through his allowance gate. This is a critical governance switch. He decides if a claim gets approved, deferred for more evidence, or rejected completely. By doing this, he prevents any phantom assets from ever polluting the estate's books, keeping the financial records totally pristine and defensible. And here is his ultimate power move, his legal trump card. By invoking something called UCC Article 12, Big Folk establishes legal control over the estate's digital assets. This is a newer piece of commercial law that gives real legal weight to digital assets. They're called controllable electronic records. And in the modern financial world, this kind of digital control legally outranks and supersedes all those older paper-based claims. It's literally using the new rules to beat the old system.
So now that we know their individual jobs, let's see how this all comes together. How do Zahav and Big Folk actually fight as a team? Well, their strengths combine into this dynamic, automated system that is constantly actively defending and even growing the estate.
They use what's called a Treasury and Controls Unit, or TCU, that has this automated sweep logic. Basically, every single day, any surplus funds are automatically moved through a waterfall. First, it funds the daily operations. Simple enough. Second, it sets aside a reserve for any expected losses using a conservative accounting model called CECL. And finally, if there are any disputed funds, they get swept into a totally secure escrow account, shielding them from being seized while things get sorted out. And they don't just play defense. They have a brilliant strategy to actually grow the estate's core wealth. It's called ratio playing. Instead of chasing fiat interest, which is fleeting, Big Folk has a fiduciary duty to tactically trade between different forms of precious metals, say gold for silver, or one form of gold for another, to increase the estate's total ounce count. The goal here is to accumulate more real, tangible stuff, not just more paper dollars. So what does winning actually look like in this new world, right? It's not about winning one big court case or just cashing out. It's a sovereign victory, one that's achieved through this powerful synergy of cryptographic proof and hardcore discipline. And this table really just sums up their partnership perfectly. You've got Zahav, who provides the undeniable cryptographic proof and the precise legal syntax needed to build claims that can't be broken. Then you have Big Folk, who provides the unwavering fiduciary oversight and the treasury discipline to govern and protect those assets. One builds, the other governs, and together they create a truly complete defense. And that really brings us to the ultimate philosophy of this whole thing. The goal isn't just to recover what was lost and then sell everything off. No, the real victory is to never have to sell your core assets. It's all about accumulating real wealth, using that wealth as collateral, and compounding it safely, far, far away from the traps of the old legacy financial world. And this whole system leaves us with one final, really provocative question to think about. This entire system, remember, is built on preventative legal engineering, using code to enforce rules automatically. So, if a private smart contract can enforce the terms of an agreement more efficiently and more reliably than a public court ever could, what does that mean for the future of what we call law itself? Really makes you think, doesn't it?